Now to the Middle East next, where the number of countries urging its citizens to leave Lebanon continues to rise. That's amidst fears of an all-out regional conflict. The UK Foreign Office has also taken the rare decision to temporarily remove family members of diplomats from Beirut. Now, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with security officials on Sunday as the country prepares itself for potential attacks by Hezbollah and Iran, who vowed revenge for the killing of the Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh, which they have both blamed on Israel. The United States has promised to remain steadfast with Israel. President Joe Biden will meet with the National Security Council today to discuss the growing tensions in the Middle East and the risk of escalation. They say in Washington it will do whatever it takes to stop the conflict escalating further.
The ceasefire deal is the best way to bring this war to an end. It's also, we believe, very possible. We still believe the gaps are narrow enough to close. The other thing that we've been doing since the 7th of October is making sure that not only Israel has what it needs to defend itself, but that this war doesn't escalate to become something broader, a regional war, a regional conflict. When the Supreme Leader says he's going to avenge, we have to take that seriously. Now, I don't know what they're going to do or when they're going to do it, but we got to make darn sure that we're ready and that we have the capabilities in the region to be able to help Israel defend itself and, quite frankly, defend our own people.
That was the National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby. Well, I've been speaking to our Middle East correspondent Yolande Knell in Jerusalem about this risk of escalation.
Yeah, I mean, a lot is going on diplomatically with these different overtures towards Iran, particularly through Arab countries in the region, to try to urge restraint. But as you say, it's really seen as such a humiliation, what happened in Tehran last week with the assassination of the Hamas leader, Ismail Haniyeh. You know, Iran, of course, backs different armed groups around this region. They include Hamas, they include Hezbollah as well. And now there is this raised expectation of an attack on Israel, a major attack by Iran that could involve its proxies as well. What we've seen in the past day is a continuation across the Israel-Lebanon border of these exchanges of fire between the Israeli military and Hezbollah, but really the expectation is of something much greater that is imminent. And you've got the Pentagon that has moved some of its major military assets to the region. It's treating this not just as a way of showing its ironclad support for Israel, but as we were hearing there, a way of also protecting its own interests, its own forces around the region, which could be potential targets as well.
And what do we know of any diplomatic efforts in the background, and also what are we hearing from Israel?
I mean, Israel is staying defiant. We've had this meeting that lasted about 4 hours, discussing different possibilities for a response to an attack from Iran, the different scenarios that may come about. We heard from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu a couple of times yesterday, basically that Israel was ready for any kind of scenario. We believe that the US, according to reports, is approaching the different countries that were involved in that coalition that helped Israel to thwart a direct attack from Iran back in April. That included the UK, it included France and Jordan as well, to see if they will be involved in repelling another attack, a similar attack, if that were to happen. But really, this remains an extremely difficult time. Analysts warning that, you know, this is the moment of greatest peril in years in the Middle East.